an individual constantly want to be better.
Yes.
You want to evolve. You want to learn new stuff. You want to
upgrade yourself.
Yes,
Just
that's the word.
Stay woke.
And I mean,
Okay, that
in
didn't sound
staying
right.
woke, you know that tech is the new gold. And I mean, we've had quite a number of tech savvy individuals come to us in the studio and say, you know what, tech is the new thing. You need to get on board. You need to do this.
But when you come right now, tech is many things.
Yes, it's a lot
So,
of things to learn.
Our focus is, how are you using AI? How can you use AI for
your personal growth?
And I
And of
know
course-
that most people will first thing they think about is ChatGPT. Please, is ChatGPT the only AI that you can use for personal? Because I bet ChatGPT, it will grow out of my nose very soon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So ChatGPT is not the only AI you can use for personal growth.
I
Even
think
when it comes to large language models, which is what ChatGPT is, it's not the only large language model that exists. There's so many of them. ChatGPT is just popular because it pioneered a lot of things when it comes to large language models. So that's why it's that popular. But I would say, as annoying as it can be to hear ChatGPT this, ChatGPT that, ChatGPT that, it actually is, dare I say, one of the most powerful tools released out there in the past decade. So yes, it can be annoying. It can be misused easily, because you see it encourage a lot of laziness and low effort situations,
Mental
no
IQ.
Exactly.
An older person called it ChatGPT. And no joke.
No way.
No joke.
GBT.
Yes.
Because I mean, I found out that quite a number of people don't exactly think for themselves after they start using ChatGPT. I noticed it's even in my
So
own
where is
personal-
the balance?
Where? How?
Because I run away from it.
Yes, me too.
That's why it now has to be sort of a conscious decision whereby you're like, I'm using this thing, but it's more of an enhancer rather than the main thing.
Right.
Packaging both together, balancing both can actually be so superb, so superb. Like sometimes you're having like some sort of a block and it's like, okay, it's just saying, okay, this is what I have in form of an idea, 4 words, 3 words, help me around it. And when it gives you something, you don't just, take it verbatim. You now go back and forth, shape your ideas, actually do some thinking. So there's some originality to what you're doing.
Right.
That way, you're actually owning the process and it's not just like you're leaving all the critical thinking for GPT to do. Because really and truly, if you think about how large language models work, they don't necessarily do thinking. They do a different form of computation to arrive at the text that they're giving you. So what they're just giving you is based on, a lot of probability as to what should come next. That is what ChatGPT actually does. So when it's giving you that, you should be able to use that to now say, okay, let me shape this way. I've taken this feedback, similar to how you speak to someone and you don't take everything they say verbatim, because that is plagiarism, right?
Right.
Yeah. Similar to that situation, when you get info from ChatGPT, you should not be taking it verbatim and just, using it exactly as is. You should use it to spark more thought for yourself. Okay, it said this. How about this? Why not this? Use it to, form a full thought. That's the best way to approach it. But really and truly, it's one of the best tools released in the past decade. So, yeah.
Aside from ChatGPT, GBT, are there other tools? As you say, there are quite a number of tools out there that people can actually use and get access to. Is it
Yes.
easier? Is it better? Is it? Does it make you think a little more? Or should people just revert to that one instead of using only ChatGPT?
Okay, so it depends on what you're trying to achieve.
Okay.
Like, for instance, you see a lot of programmers not use ChatGPT because they see that they have other large language models that work better for coding, like Claude and Grok and things of such nature. That's the Twitter version of the large language
The
model.
one that has Annie. But go on.
But yeah, so you have different variations depending on what you're trying to do. You also see that, okay, when it comes to image generation, there are more popular ones like DALL-E, and you also see that ChatGPT over time, initially they didn't do image generation, but now they do image generation.
Oh, they do?
Yes, they do image
seeing that other
generation.
people are.
I'm waiting for Meta to get around to it.
So it depends on the context of what you're trying to do. That's why I'll say you now choose which one you're going to. And it's as simple as, yes, we default to ChatGPT, but what are you trying to achieve? And it's like, okay, maybe I'm trying to generate this sort of images or this sort of videos with artificial intelligence. It's as simple as, first of all, using Google to check, okay, what tools would be more specific, more suited for this, and then going to it. ChatGPT is good, all right, but it's not the only AI tool out there. There's so many of them, so many of them that could be quite useful.
Well, We know that AI is the new gold. We know that AI is the new thing in town, and everyone needs to catch on to it. But at the end of the day, you have to use your own personal knowledge and, task yourself mentally. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
But for people who are looking to, say, maybe start off. I don't want to go into business now because
I want to go into business.
You want to go into business?
So I want to use the case study of our conversation earlier.
Okay.
And millennials, and I know that it's a struggle. I'm a millennial, so sometimes it's a struggle because she just called me 1920 something. If I understand. Sometimes it's a struggle to come on board with these tech things. I don't want, and this is me using myself as the scapegoat in this picture, I don't want to lose my original intelligence. I don't want a case where I become, I begin to trust AI to do my work. And the truth is, if I needed to do it and then you showed up and you got it easily done for me, I'll come again tomorrow. So the addiction is, I think that's one of the fears a lot of millennials have. So to be able to use personally, effectively, let's even leave the office first. Personally, what are the things as a millennial, for instance, that you need to know or at least get on board with where AI is concerned before we now get into the office space? Personally, everyday things from your personal life to your family, just running things around.
Okay, so I think one of the first things, like you already mentioned, is that yes, it can be addictive. First of all, acknowledging the fact that, you know, it can be such a deep rabbit hole if you want to start using AI. That is the first step, because once you acknowledge that fact, you can now find the balance in your life. So that's the thing with AI and millennials. It's like, it's not a tool that should be feared, but rather it's like even in silly, shall I say, situations, minute situations, you should be able to say that, okay, I'm in this situation, I can't think of, I'm not sure of the way forward, but these are the ideas I have. It's as simple as, okay, you have a child and the child is doing things a certain way and you're trying to find resources to, you know, correct the child, and you're not sure how to go about it. It's one of those times whereby you can ask AI and be like, okay, yeah, this is what's happening here, this is what I have done, what can I do for that? And that doesn't mean you should take it verbatim. It's still just a suggestion, it is still just a you now know the actual real life context
that you're dealing
in which
with
you want to use it,
Right.
So that is when you now decide, okay, this is appropriate for my situation, or it is not appropriate for my situation.
Now, for Gen Zs, I feel like we can
live by tech.
They live by tech. They live by AI tools, and they would go for it regardless. And I've come to realize that some of them don't even think as much, and they just go to AI. So what is to say that Gen Zs are not going to make it, are not going to overuse, or I would say, what's the word? I'm looking for a particular word to quantify what I'm saying. They're not going to misuse AI, leading to even the kids that are even coming up and them, because these Gen Zs are going to be parents soon.
Yeah.
And if they're going to be parents, their kids will be very tech savvy, and the generation will go on and on until we don't have people that think with their brains anymore.
So the thing is,
No, but it's the truth.
It is the truth.
It is the truth.
Actually.
So the thing is, there is going to be misuse. There's no way about that. There is going to be misuse. And this is where it now challenges us to change our systems. Like, for instance, if you look at the education system, for instance, you can tell that we're getting to a point whereby we're going to have to change how things are done. Before, how things are done is, okay, you go to school for X number of years, and the moment you are maybe in your 20s, you really hone a particular skill for a number of years, and that skill carries you for the next decade, 3 decades, and all. That's how things used to be done before, right? But now, with the invent of AI, you now have situations whereby job cycles are a lot faster.
Yes.
So you have this job that is booming for like a number of years, and then it dies because AI has found a way to replace it.
Right.
So you see that there's a need for a continuous learning process. But at the same time, we also now have artificial intelligence that enables people to make progress without thinking. So when you now have a mix of both, whereby you're having a society whereby there's supposed to be continuous learning is going to be a core part of it because things are moving fast, technology is moving fast.
Right.
Continuous learning will be a core part. You have that. You now also still have a situation whereby for this learning, you have people that would rather not do the learning but just use these tools and keep going,
Yes.
going forward. So you have a combination of both. What do we now do in that situation? What I would say in this situation is that we actually need to revamp the whole learning process, starting from secondary schools. We need to move far away from a lot of coursework and assignments and those kind of things, because you can easily get it from ChatGPT.
Right.
So now actual focusing on involvement in the class. Before you say, okay, 40% of your learning takes place in the class, the rest you do it personally.
No, it has
now
to be
knowing that personally,
you can get access to information.
Exactly,
Yes.
It's no longer a genuine process. A lot of learning has now start happening in class, in person, in the learning environment, and not
my
relying
gosh.
on. So it's
So
like
teachers have a
Ebun, you
See, this-
you have entered another
See.
room, and we're going to walk into this room next week or something.
Yes,
If we can, because the educational system is something we need to look at, and how to make sure that kids are not solely relying on AI, and how to revamp the educational system so that it still does teach fundamentals of humanity and fundamentals of having sense. Literally.
And just so you know, I was thinking about our essay competition, and I'm like, the kids out there, they're quite smart.
I think
So
when
we'll
people are also
we will
listening.
check it if
Because
you
we're going to
use
be
AI
reading
to
out
get
the essays, so you will know when you
When
hear
you hear an
something that's
AI
a little too perfectly done. You can tell that
You
it's,
can tell
it's
that whether you use AI or
generated.
not.
That is so true. So we're looking for the real work.
And the
Anyways.
way work is in the classroom. Thank you so much
Oh
for
my
pointing
gosh,
that out.
Ebon, we need to sit and talk about
And
the
this is
classroom
to say
and
that
changing
a
the
lot of
curriculum
teachers
and the things we should focus on
need
from
to pay
primary
attention.
to the secondary school to the university level, to see what we can do over in this tech age, because the syllabus we used to use
I don't think it
it
can work anymore.
Yep.
I don't think it will work anymore. Well, I mean, so for anyone out there who is looking to get into tech and using it for their personal goal, what would you advise them?
Okay, so my advice would be, because as a person, I do use it when I'm trying to learn something new or something like that.
Right.
But my advice would be, it should not be top 3 in one of your major tools in what you're using. First of all, it's like you want to learn something. For instance, you want to learn a new language. It's all cool. AI can actually help you, but the knowledge gained when you're using ChatGPT and it's just throwing a lot of information out, you're going to miss out on a lot of crucial parts of what you should be learning, like how to structure certain things when it comes to your architecture and things. You're going to be missing out on a lot of things compared to actually learning from people like paid tutorials, free tutorials, whereby not only are they doing this thing, but there's a context around why they readily give you. Obviously, now if you have some knowledge already and AI gives you, oh, this is X information, you can now go back and say, okay, how about this? I've read about this. Why aren't you using this method? Why aren't you? So to get the most out of artificial intelligence, a lot of times you already have to be informed. It's best that you're personally informed before you now start going the artificial intelligence route. If not, you would just learn what it is, releases, people looking at challenges people have had with that thing and how you can circumvent it. Just stimulating your brain, that whole process plays a huge role in retaining what you're learning, compared to, before you find what you're looking for, you would have found other things that you would have learned from. Because before the advent of GPT, when people are learning or when you're actively coding, you go to like Stack Overflow, which is a forum for people to discuss their issues they're having coding. Before you solve your issue, you would have run into 5 other similar things.
Do you remember when we had Quora?
Yes.
When you have we still do, but nobody really uses it.
Oh my
You
word.
put a question on Quora, you will see so many instances that might not be exactly yours, but then gives you dimensions.
Give you angles.
How did we get here? So again, I keep thinking AI is amazing. It's the new age and But
Chama,
listen, how do we make sure we don't lose our humanity?
and our intellectual, cognitive. Hey,
our conscious intellect.
that is so
and
important.
we're not trusting on these things to do the work. I don't know. I'm not. We need to get you to come back.
She only started. Chuma, she only started using ChatGPT
Recently.
March.
Oh, really?
Yes.
March.
The highest I've done is get a Meta give me a 30-second version of a profile.
Okay.
For a project I was working on. So I have the profile, just give me 30 seconds. And if I read through it, I promise you,
edit.
every single time ChatGPT gives me something, I'm like, this is so inhuman. It just lacks the feelings and emotions. It's sweet and nice. They will even give you Nigerian version things. However, there is something about you, your and they tell you, some people, they also tell you that, ChatGPT and AI basically can learn your language and give it to you verbatim. But I feel like I don't want that.
I can tell when you send a message. You know how you know someone to the point where when you read a message from them, you are you're not sure if they were the one that sent the message.
Yes.
You're like, this doesn't sound like,
It's
because the way that we talk is the way that we write.
Right.
Shocking. So I mean, just use it to your benefit, and sometimes think. It's okay. It's okay to
sometimes think a lot.
Think a lot. That should be the primary thing
Think
you're doing.
a lot. and just sometimes use it.
Yes.
Yes.
It can be a good assistant. It can speed things up. It can, guide you, but use your brain.
Don't let it rule you while it's guiding you.
Well, we've been speaking with Ebunoluwa Adebanjo, who is a data analyst right here. Data scientist. Oh, not a
data scientist.
Scientist.
A result-driven data scientist.
And she has a strong background in machine learning, big data engineering,